Well, I'm 100% certain that the better car is the... Welcome to the Cobra Pit. Whether you're a longtime viewer or a newer subscriber like Jeff Matthias, I see you. I appreciate every single one of you. Now, one of the most hotly debated topics on my channel, the Chevy Bolt versus the Tesla Model 3. I've taken my time making this video because I really had to digest the information that I learned from spending so much time with these cars. I had the Chevy Bolt for over 3 years, and now I have the Tesla Model 3. I know both of these cars through and through. I had the 2017 Chevy Bolt. Now they've updated it with removing things like the shift knob, and they've removed some things like my favorite rear view camera in the rear view mirror. But generally it's pretty much the same car. I'll keep aesthetics out of it because generally that's the most subjective thing. But of course there'll be things that I prefer personally that you may not, but let's break it down. The Chevy Bolt can be found at a steep discount nowadays, but when I got my premium model, it was $43,000. I've read about people getting brand new ones in the mid 20,000s thanks to Chevy's wild incentives. A new Model 3 start out roughly at $36,000, and that price isn't negotiable. But you can find a very low mileage used one at about $4,000 off, like I did. Click that link if you're interested. But that's nowhere near the price you could get for a used Bolt. Now prices fluctuate and state and federal incentives can vary, but the Bolt wins this round easily. Now let's talk about range. My 2017 Bolt had a range of 238 miles, and now they're around 259. My 2020 Standard Range Plus Model 3 has an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, but I rarely charge it to 100% like I did with my Bolt. Now range is one thing, but it varies depending on the climate, terrain, and how you drive it. My very unscientific test, but it's a very consistent one, is my 14-mile drive from the local mall to my house. In a Chevy Bolt, I can make that 14-mile trip with only using 1 to 2 estimated miles. Now this is due to the aggressive regenerative braking, and most of the trip is downhill. But my Model 3 makes it back using 10 to 11 estimated miles. I've done this test about 5 to 6 times each, and I try to drive the same speed, follow speed regulations and things like that. But as you can see, the Bolt dominates here as well. Remember, these are estimated ranges on the gauge. Even though you can get a Model 3 with more range, the Standard Range Plus is closer in price to the Bolt. So overall, the Bolt's aggressive regenerative braking and efficiency stretches that EPA estimated range out. More driving a little bit later. Let's move on to cabin space. The Bolt will definitely surprise you with how much headspace there is in the front and back. 4 adults will comfortably fit in it, and the airy headroom makes it feel that much bigger. One of the knocks many people have with the Bolt is that they say the seats are narrow and uncomfortable. As you can see, I'm a wide guy, and the seats in the Bolt did not bother me at all. The Model 3 has great headroom as well as a recessed glass roof. Also, with the roof being glass, you get a real sense of openness, which gives it an illusion of more room. Backseat floor is a little bit higher, so if you're a taller adult, it will be less comfortable for extended trips, but all of the seats are very comfortable. I give the cabin comfort to the Bolt, but it's very close, and an extra point for the Bolt being a little easier for me to get in and out of because of the higher ride height. Let's talk about the interior. The Bolt has a much more standard interior that you would find in most cars. Buttons, but not too many buttons. This is great if you want to feel comfortable right away. The screen is intuitive and has all the information you need, but the standout feature that the Chevy has that the Tesla doesn't is the ability to plug your phone in and use either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The in-cabin storage is limited with this huge basin to hold whatever you need, but it's just that, a huge bin. The wireless charger is a slot that can hold one phone if your phone can fit. But what's the point of a wireless charger if you're going to plug in your phone to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto anyway? The Model 3 has that minimalist look and feel. The biggest difference is the fact that the Model 3 has only one screen that does it all. No screen behind the wheel at all. Very few buttons, which some dislike because of the lack of a tactile feel. The wireless charger is down below, and there's many aftermarket options to switch it up. Plenty of covered private storage space and amazing extra features like games, entertainment, and the killer Sentry mode that uses the car's external cameras to monitor any activity near your vehicle. This is a tech lover's dream car. I do miss the heated steering wheel and overhead view that the Bolt has that helps with parking and maneuvering, but the Model 3 wins this round with giving so much more with such little clutter. You get used to the one screen setup pretty quickly, and the over-the-air updates keeps Teslas feeling fresh. But you get a car to drive. Let's talk about driving. Both cars have great acceleration, but of course the Model 3 is faster from the jump. The Model 3 has a sportier look, feel, and intent, while the Bolt has a casual driving feel. But like I said, the Bolt can bring it. The Bolt will catch other drivers off guard. This comes in handy when you need to make a quick maneuver, and the only way to safely do so is to accelerate. This is refreshing compared to the Tesla because it seems like everyone wants to race me when I'm in it. Or at least it seems like it. Tesla's killer feature is its autonomous driving. I only have the included autopilot that accelerates, brakes, and stays in the lane, but it's amazing for bumper-to-bumper highway traffic. My Bolt had lane assist that worked about 50% of the time, but they are bringing the new Super Cruise that Chevy Bolt has, the industry's first true hands-free assisted driving technology, which uses LiDAR sensors instead of just cameras. One big difference is that Tesla uses the firm movement of the steering wheel versus Chevy, who uses the camera to determine if a driver's paying attention. The jury's still out about Chevy's system, but Teslas have been around for a while, and they have tons of data at their disposal. Tesla wins this round. But you're not going anywhere until you charge it. Let's talk about charging. Charging speeds at home are very comparable, so the biggest difference comes into play with the mobile charging. I've used EVgo and ChargePoint to help me get my Bolt from one destination to another. Using the PlugShare app helps locate where these stations are, and there's an active community that shares pertinent information about the condition of the chargers and reports non-EV cars parked in these spaces. Tesla has their supercharger infrastructure that covers most of the US. You can use the on-screen map to find the nearest one to you. It'll show you how many available stations there are, or you can plan a trip that will include the estimated charging times, percentage of battery for the round trip, and so much more. This makes long road trips a breeze, but like with any EV, you have to plan ahead to make your trip most efficient, during those charging sessions. Tesla Supercharger Network helps the Model 3 dominate this category, and you can charge a Tesla at any one of these other non-Tesla chargers with the included adapter. Not to mention, some people have free supercharger miles, which wouldn't cost you very much at all to take these long trips. And let's just get to the extras. Trunk storage. Both have adequate space, but the Model 3 does have a Frunk or front trunk, which comes in clutch for quick access and versatility. What about the app? You could do so much more with Tesla's app, from climate control, opening the trunk, enable charging, and use as a key. There's no comparison here. Speaking of keys, the Model 3 has many options, from the included key card, to the app, to the fob, which does cost a little extra, and a third-party option like this ring. Yeah, that's a key. Chevy has a key fob. Insurance is less expensive with a Bolt, much less expensive. And of course, a whole bunch of other things like repairability, delivery, wait time, etc., etc., etc. But I feel like I've covered most of the determining factors when it comes to purchasing a Model 3 or a Chevy Bolt. My goal was for you to see all the differences and make an informed decision. If I've helped you with that at all, show some love with a like or subscribe, but I will tell you which one I would choose today. I prefer the Tesla Model 3. The standout features for me: the interior tech, updates, supercharger network, and performance. but you need to figure out what's more important to you. If you do decide to go with Tesla, my referral link is in the description and we will both get those 1,000 free supercharger miles I talked about earlier. Thank you for watching and don't forget, Kobra told you. All right, y'all.